Question: do you believe in the tiers getting paid first? I hate to break your heart, sweetheart, but there are no tiers. People created this illusion that if you belong to this tier you have to give up some of your dinar, you have to be part of their group, whatever it is you will be able to exchange first. That's beyond stupid as stupid can get. There are no tiers. There's no first level, second level, third level of our American population. Everybody's got dinars, everybody will be treated the same way. Why? Because they all fall under the international banking laws. There is no other ways. There is no other options. If they tell you, give me your dinars and you'll be part of the XYZ group, run. You're not allowed to do what they're doing. That's evil. The numbers easily support a rate of $3.50 to $4. Oil price: global oil website. Trump will impose sanctions on Iraq. They say today the exchange rate is 1,320 dinar for every dollar. That is the true exchange rate. However, that will change to an international acceptable exchange rate when the central bank applies the new exchange rate to be on international forex markets. They're preparing for that to happen before our eyes with the new reinforcement mechanism. They have switched from the old dollar auction system. Iraq surpasses Saudi Arabia in oil exports to America. Quote, the U.S. Energy Information Administration announced on Saturday that Iraq surpassed Saudi Arabia in oil exports to the United States during the past week. The fact they are about to, or have, stopped the auctions means it has to be replaced with a new exchange rate to add value to your currency. If all of these things are true from Sudani, then another thing is true. EMO, the lower notes they're going to give you are now in position, ready, loaded to go, ready to be given to the Iraqi citizens. In Iraq it appears the final step in de-dollarization is happening. That is what I was told, although my one contact told me to not worry, and this is de-dollarization before the change. But the Central Bank of Iraq is claiming they sold 1 billion in 4 days. They keep saying auctions have stopped, but we are seeing evidence they are still moving foreign currency. We are not sure what is going on, but we are watching it. Things are quite confusing. Central bank work on the electronic platform has stopped. One of the things the central bank is stating they're going to do is end that old electronic transfer system that exclusively works with the dollar and transition to a different type of banking system where the local Iraqi banks can start doing their own sending of foreign currencies and no longer just the dollar, multiple different foreign currencies abroad. It's called direct banking, but to do that the US sanctions need to be lifted off of Iraq. That's why this whole time they've only been able to exclusively work with the US dollar. There's a difference between the dollar auctions and the reinforcement mechanism that they use today. Militiaman and crew have been quite clear that there's going to be a change. The dollar auctions are going to stop and there's something different. We have been spot on about the fact that the dollar auctions are going to go away, and they have. Television is doing 11-page document. We've seen it before, but they're reshowing it to us. It's instructions to all the new money exchange centers that have been opened up on what they can accept and how much to give on damaged notes being returned by citizens. It's like they are telling exchanges a lot of the 30 notes are about to be returned. Frank, that's exactly what they're doing. Like I told you, these banks would be very essential. Collecting the 30 notes is going to be massive. Question: where will the new rate show first? Marks: if it follows in Kuwait's footsteps, it will quietly be released. Maybe people will do some exchanging and then it will show publicly on Forex. But, in today's world and the speed of the internet, my guess is we will all see it at the same time. You guys will probably hear it first from folks like me and then we will be able to look at it. That's my opinion. Iraq has brought a new in-country rate. We heard about this New Year's Day. In Iraq, they're removing the higher denominations, the 25k dinar notes, the 10K, the 5K, the 1K, the high 30 dinar notes. Now those are notes that we have that we're going to be able to exchange at a very high rate, very high. We're getting huge rates on the dinar that we have, but in Iraq they're exchanging those with 25 dinar, 10 dinar, 5 dinar, 1 dinar, in other words, without the 3 zeros, lower denominations. They're making those announcements on television in Iraq. We look like we could get started. They're calling it the weekend. As late as Sunday, we should be getting our notifications, and we should be able to get started with our exchanges. Question: how many major banks are there participating in the exchange? I don't know that yet. But I believe that every major bank will be involved. Economic expert Mustafa Akram Hantush confirmed today, Saturday, that the banking system is going through a major crisis, pointing out that the Gulf and Jordanian banks have come to control the cash and dollar sector inside Iraq. Hantush said in a statement to Al Maluma agency, the Iraqi banking system is almost non-existent at the present time, as 4 or 5 Gulf and Jordanian banks control the movement of money. He added that 4 Jordanian banks submitted applications to enter the Iraqi market, 2 of which succeeded in operating, while 2 others, namely Al-Ittihad and Al-Iskan, are still under study. He explained that this situation reinforces the dominance of these banks over the dollar, while local banks are now facing major challenges, as some of them remain in the market, while others are forced to seek agreements with Jordanian and Gulf banks in order to continue operating, adding that those who do not succeed in reaching agreements with these banks will move towards merging or exiting the market. He pointed out that the banking system was previously suffering from a weak structure, and today it is in a state of complete collapse, stressing that it has become very difficult to obtain loans in Iraq easily, and whoever succeeds in doing so needs relationships and mediation, which reflects the state of stagnation and paralysis in the Iraqi banking system. It is noteworthy that the United States imposed sanctions on 34 Iraqi banks in an attempt to restrict the Iraqi economy, which opens the way for 5 Jordanian and Gulf banks to enter the Iraqi market, with the aim of completely controlling the economy amid the silence of the Iraqi government. Iraq witnessed a significant increase in non-oil revenues at the end of last year 2024, as it reached 12% of total public revenues compared to non-oil revenues for the year 2023, while economic experts believe that this number is less than the planned target within the government's plans. In this regard, economic expert Nabil Al-Masoumi told Shafaq news agency, the total non-oil revenues achieved in Iraq until last October amounted to 14.438 trillion dinars, representing 12% of total public revenues, compared to 7% in 2023, noting that the plan was to achieve 27 trillion dinars in non-oil revenues, representing 20% of public revenues, as Iraq was supposed to achieve non-oil revenues for the year 2024 worth 27 trillion. And this number has not